Can you hear me? Welcome to the Aces Rock Esport Arena here in Braunschweig. We're just a few seconds away from starting the big League of Legends tournament here at the summit. My name is Janique Johnson, and I'm your presenter for the next couple of days. Yeah, it looks like the teams are all ready to go, and they did their picks and bans, so we're about to start. And yeah, of course, we also have a caster here, and he's our expert here. He is the brain, and he's going to commentate every move our teams make. To my left side, I have I don't know. Yeah. Give it up for I don't know. They're the first team on stage. And to my right side, we have Hall of Noobs. Yeah, now I'd like to move over to our caster, Jason J. Atkins. Jason, how are you feeling?
I'm feeling really good, actually. Looking forward to what potentially could be a fairly even game here. I mean, it's a regional tournament at the end of the day. Obviously, there are some major distractions going on with LoL internationally, so it's nice to see some new blood come to the forefront. Now, we do have the picks and bans, so without further ado, let's jump straight in and we can run through those. So, on the blue team, it's going to be, I believe it's, I don't know, let me just double check this. So it's actually, no, I'm wrong on that. It's actually Horny are actually on the blue team. So their picks and bans. A Mumu, pretty standard ban there. I mean, Curse of the Sad Mummy can change the course of just about any team fight, so it's always a good ban. Kassadin, yeah, I can get behind the Kassadin ban. And Malphite just for initiation, of course. So three fairly solid bans there. The bans coming in for, I don't know. We're going to have, of course, Atarox, Blitzcrank, and Hecarim. Now, Blitzcrank, he's not been banned as much as of late. Largely in part because the Korean scene has been putting a lot of play into Fresh and Lulu, so we've been seeing a lot more Fresh and Lulu as the supports. Maybe that's a targeted ban, maybe it's not, maybe they just don't like playing against Blitz. It is pretty irritating being pulled away from your own tower after all. Hecarim, still a tad broken. 3.8 has gone a long way to fixing some of the issues with Hecarim. His charge doesn't do nearly as much damage anymore, but he can now hop over small obstacles, so there has been a sort of balanced redress there, which I don't think people have got entirely comfortable with playing Hecarim just yet. Now the actual picks, let's run through those right now. So starting off with Hall of Noobs, going to be Xafron on, as you can see, on Leona. So that's, I imagine the, well, saying that we've got a Heimerdinger in there, so that's interesting. I'm assuming it's going to be Heimerdinger mid, Leona support with Garen solo top. Garen solo top, a lot of people kind of turn the nose up at Garen solo top because yeah, it's not like he has any crowd control or anything like that. He's naturally tanky from the start. That is a good thing for Garen. But the one thing that people do overlook these days is his passive. Now, it used to be that his passive, it's a 7, if he's out of combat for 7 seconds, his health regenerates. Now, it used to be that minions would actually reset the passive. Not anymore. So I think he's a lot more viable as a solo top laner, at least until mid-game. When it comes to the late-game sort of team engagements, he does drop off a lot, though, so that's something to keep in mind. So Uncle's actually gone for Caitlyn, good standard ADC pick there. Wouldn't be surprised to see Caitlyn actually pull out some very impressive ace in the holes, to be honest. Obviously part of standard Caitlyn play. Now the interesting thing is going to be Sylvana on Heimer. I mean, Heimer is a very weird pick. So anyway, without further ado, we're going to jump straight into the game. It's going to be I don't know versus Hon. Of course, the way this tournament's going to work out, it's a double elim tournament. There's no group stages, so we're going straight in at the playoff bracket. It's best of 3 in the upper end of the bracket, so UB is best of 3. The upper bracket is best of 3. The LB, the lower portion, is best of 1. So if you lose once in the lower bracket, well, it's time to pack your bags and go home. So loading in now, and it's going to be a case of, I think, composition-wise, I mean, looking at it, Sona and Vayne against Caitlyn and Leona. I mean, Leona with exhaust is pretty useful, I will say that. But you're going to have the sustain from Sona. So I would say early game, Vayne's going to have the advantage. Once Caitlyn gets something like a Bloodthirster or Blade of the Ruin King, we might see Caitlyn start to pick it up mid-game. A lot of it is going to boil down to the pressure from the junglers, though. I mean, the key ganks on bottom are going to come around about level 4, I believe. We've got Mundo, so obviously cleavers are going to play a huge part, and Rammus, so Daniel is going to be on Rammus. Really, Rammus with Ghost. Pretty scary proposition, because if he pops Ghost, oh, okay, League of Legends has decided it's going to start working. Awesome. That's always fun. So, round of applause for Riot, please. And I guess we're just going to have to launch the game again. So hopefully we shouldn't miss too much. Obviously, all the creeps do spawn at 155 now with the new jungle changes. So we shouldn't even miss a wolf camp here. But a little bit unfortunate. I suppose it's you know, all part and parcel of being at LAN though. All part of the fun and games. So I am loading the client back in now, but just bear with me 2 seconds. It seems to be, I might have to actually task manager kill it here. Always fun, especially under Windows 8. No, the program did not work correctly. Thank you very much, Windows 8. Point out the obvious more. So here we go, I'm going to launch the client again now. We should be getting back in. So what I was pointing out about Vayne and Sona is the fact that they are going to have more sustain from the get-go. Obviously because of Sona being a traditional support, as opposed to Leona, who's more of a bruiser support, you should see a bit of aggressive farming from Vayne. I'm expecting to see that. I mean, it's kind of one of those situations where if you can force Vayne back, he'll come back because of the sustain. So I don't expect Caitlyn to be doing a ton of harassment, neither Leona. They're going to be looking for first blood if they're going to do harassment. It's not going to be a case of chipping away and poking. It's going to be a case of all in, basically. So you're going to see the exhaust used from Leona, which was one of the summoner spells. And basically from that point, you're going to see very aggressive Caitlyn play. A couple of peacemakers, and that will set up a potential first blood. So without further ado, it seems like I'm going to have to, yeah, there we go. So it's going to actually finally let me back in now. It's always good. Bear with me 2 moments, folks, whilst I log my account in. I am male after all, we can't do two things at once. Okay, any second now, right, that would be nice. And there we go, okay, so it's actually letting me in now. So this is going to be a game between Hall of Noobs and, of course, I don't know. And really, I think this is one of those games that's kind of an unknown to me. I mean, obviously, you know, I pay a lot of attention to the international scene. Over the past 6 weeks since I've actually been living in Germany, paid a lot more attention to the regional scene here in Germany, what with the Go for LOL tournaments and the likes of the Black Monster Cup out there, which I've been casting. So, you know, some of these teams are familiar, some not so much. You are going to see some mixed teams. But I think the standard of play has been pretty high now. Anyway, we are underway. So we did miss the opening jungle moves. As we can see, Rammus has actually gone back for the wolf camp here. So not trying to give too much away because I am going over house speakers here. It does look like the, well, saying that they've got ROG headphones on, so they are fairly noise cancelling. And obviously I'm speaking English pretty fast, so maybe they won't grasp everything, but they will pick up on some stuff if I'm not careful. So as predicted, it is Hamid a mid. I'm just going to arrange your champions right now so we can get the correct synergy on the scoreboard. So it's going to be a Garen solo top. And there we go, that looks about right. So let's take a quick look at your opening CS. Who's leading the way? So Caitlyn is actually up by 3 CS so far on the bottom lane. See Noob like top, he's spinning to win on Garen. You're going to see a lot of that. You're going to see him pop that Q to get in a little bit quicker, go for the silence and then spin to win and just try and bully him out of lane. And Bjorn on Yorick. Yorick is one of those champions though, he is quite hard to deal with. So, top lane, it is starting to be pushed by Garen. That's one of the things that Garen is exceptionally good at. You can see he's also doing a good job of last hitting there. Well, he is down by 4 CS at this point, starting off with a Doran shield and health pots. Obviously with the change in the price of Doran shield, it does make it a more viable item to start with. So Ghost are just clearing this mid out with the lay wastes. Let's try and keep Heimerdinger at bay. Meanwhile, Vastic on bottom, he's just looking to farm under the tower here. He's going to be trying to play as safe as possible. Obviously, he knows that Caitlyn's going to have the slight early advantage because Leona is going to put out more damage than Sona. So he's going to play passive at least until he hits 6 anyway. Meanwhile, as we can see, it's usually around about the point you would expect to start to see these junglers make a showing. Well, that is interesting, as you folks can see. I don't want to give away the game here, but yeah, that camp right there hasn't been taken yet. Rammus actually going back, so he's going to be buying up. What did he start with? Did he start? Awesome. Yeah, just what we needed. So hopefully it lets me straight back in. Yeah, another game's still in progress. Thanks very much. So I guess I'm going to have to kill the client. Awesome. Well, what we've seen so far, not much of anything to be honest, to recap. I mean, the junglers have yet to really show themselves in lanes. Pretty slow start from the junglers, to be honest. They didn't take the new route, which is to go double buffs to get the level 3 gank going. So I think what we're going to see here is a fairly passive game from both teams. They seem to be quite content just to farm up and try and get an advantage that way, which I can understand. I mean, wholeheartedly, I can get behind that. There is something to be said about playing conservative. Does mean that you're never going to force the issue, though. You're not going to get that early advantage. So we could potentially be in for a fairly long game here, folks. So, loading back in. We'll be back in just a moment. Of course, this is the first round of the Summit 2013 League of Legends tournament. And I am Jay Atkins. So, back in game now. As we can see, not much has really changed. Still 0-0. And it's crashed again. Awesome. So, hopefully, it stays up this time. If not, I think maybe a brief break might be in order while we figure what's wrong with the client. Weird thing is, I fully tested this beforehand, so yeah. Oh well, beauty of PCs, I suppose. Okay, so hopefully this will let me back in this time. So, going to load back in now, and hopefully get this shindig back underway. It would be nice if it would give me a specific error message, but yeah, just the sort of usual crash to desktop that you get with League of Legends, always nice. So I'm taking a look at the teams. I can't actually see from here whether there has been a first blood, but it does sound like we're starting to heat up. So there has been a first blood. And that has gone in favour of I don't know. So 1-0 up. That extra 400 gold will help. Who actually got the kill? Let's see if we can figure that out. So Sona, okay. With the, let's arrange the scoreboard again. So let me just rearrange that. And there we go. Okay, so scoreboard all arranged. So yeah, it was Sona with the kill with the assist onto Vayne. So Vastic does have a little bit of gold as well. Ideally, you would want that kill to go the way of Sona, of course, but yeah, still. First blood's first blood, I suppose. So Vayne going back to buy, picking up a Bilge Water. It's going to give him a bit of lifesteal, a bit more attack damage. Meanwhile, top lane, it looks like Garen's going to be going back as well, so he's going to purchase up here. Be interesting to see how Garen actually does get built here. I mean, if Noob does go full tank, which it looks like he might be doing, because as you can see, Emblem and Valor, so he's playing the long game here by going for the Emblem. He's also picked himself up a Sight Ward as well, so he should be protecting his lane. But yeah, the Emblem does basically set him up for team fights. I mean, the passive on that item does help everybody else around him, so definitely showing that he is a team player here early. Now here we go, big jump. This is where we're going to see Vayne knock them back, though. Vastic does manage to get the repel. Uncle of the Peacemaker doesn't really connect, though. Obviously looking for Crystal there, but not to be found. This is what I was talking about with the sustain, folks. Vastic is going to be able to stay in lane longer than Caitlyn here, especially now he's got the Bilge Water. Ghostler can pick up the blue. Jaime yet to go grab his blue, though, so he is going to be a disadvantage here. So Vanna's got to be careful, because if Ghoster does commit to this, could use the advantage of the reduced cooldown reduction of the blue to get off some more spells here. Noob like spin to win, does manage to get the silence off. Yorick ulti coming in, though, he's going to be forced back here. He does manage to get out of dodge. I think that's going to be the cue for Yorick to potentially go back. Where is Yorick? There we go. He's actually mid. So yeah, Yorick does need to go back. He's only got the Fairy Charm so far, so he's going to be thinking about getting a buy-in. And he does have a sizable CS advantage. 54 plays 29 at this point. Now here we go. Mid gank coming down. Uncle is onto that, though, and he's going to get out of here. Wall of Pain does get popped. Now Leona is going to go in for the save here. Barrier being used. Uncle might just get out of this. No, he doesn't. Ghoster picks up the kill with a late waste. And that is going to be the second kill on the board for I Don't Know. So I Don't Know's bottom lane here, potentially in a snowball situation. I mean, the kill did go mid, but that does mean that Vastic can now farm freely. Ghoster going to go back up, and as you can see, he's got a little bit of help coming back into lane as well. So Let's jump straight on this. No ward though, so that's just good game sense from Sylvana that's got him out of trouble. Obviously anticipating a bit of a gank. Realised the top had gone missing. Good SS call from Garen. Oh, Xafron again being forced back. Perhaps a little bit too aggressive there. Forced to burn a pot that was perhaps a bit needless. Then again, I suppose keeping the minions off the tower is a good idea, even if it does mean taking a little bit of excess damage. So, Daniel coming into lane to take over mid for Heimer. Carefully, yeah, I was going to say he's going to have to use his shield. Nice to stomp his way out of trouble though. So Daniel is safe for the time being. He's probably going to go back and get in the jungle himself, as we have so far. Got Ninja Tabby and obviously Spirit Stone. So yep, as you can see, he's going to get out of dodge real quick. Oh, here we go though. Global presence, and that's going to be the kill for Ghoster. Requiem's such a pain when you're in the jungle. So, turret's being used by Heimer. Going to clear the wave out. Nothing particularly exciting so far. 3-0 scoreline. Looking at a goal lead of just under 3k here in favour of I don't know. Xafron is going to jump in here on Leona. Peacemaker to follow as well. Crystal taking quite a bit of fire, but it's not really Crystal that Uncle needs to be hitting here. It's Vastic that needs to be taken care of course. As we can see, Vastic come into this as well. He's going to go deep, rolls forward, forces the flash. Nicely done. So that bottom lane is now primed for a gank from Mundo when he comes down. If Blanca does show up, then Leona's got to be the target of choice, of course. Meanwhile, top lane pretty stagnant at this point. Nothing really going on up there apart from the massive differential on CS. 71 plays, 32 in favour of Yorick. And Noob looking to just increase that CS lead, and he is doing so as well. He's not missing many last hits here. Commentators kiss of death just to say that he does miss quite an easy one, but oh well. So, taking a peek at bottom, 81 plays 63 on the CS, 2 assists on Vatic, and 1 death on Caitlyn, so there is a potential for a snowball there as that lane unfolds. Caitlyn is playing the long call here though. We've got a pickaxe, which leads me to believe we are going to see an Infinity Edge at some point. I'd be very surprised if we didn't. So again, back to sort of a bit of a lull in the game here. The jungler's not doing much as of yet. I'm kind of surprised by that. Normally you would expect to see quite a few more ganks by level 7 on the junglers, but perhaps the opportunity just hasn't really presented itself. Speaking of junglers, you can see, House is going to go for the Ancient Golems. Meanwhile, on bottom, we have a bit of a ward party in the second bush. Anticipating that Rama's starting to roll here because, as we can see, Karthus is going to be coming in now. It's going to be obvious, yep, Ghost are coming in. And this is going to be a big gank onto Uncle. Uncle is going to fall. Nicely done, there's the kill. Xafron in a lot of trouble as well. And that's going to be a double kill for Vatic. Nicely done. So Vayne starting to get fed 2-0 and 2 now. He's going to be thinking about, yep, I was going to say that should force a Drake pickup here. And indeed it will do by the looks of it. So Mundo going to come down with his smite. Daniel just going to try and clear this wave and save that bottom tower for as long as possible. But what he really needs to be worried about here is the Drake pickup, and as you can see, it's below half health at this point. Early smite being used though, so a little bit of mistiming. Daniel going to be pinned against the wall. Wall of pain to stop his advance as well. And this is going to be 3 kills and a Drake for no return here. I think really now with the way this is starting to unfold, all of Noobs have got to do something. They've got to do something quickly. We're at the 14 minutes and 30-second mark. You're looking at pretty much over a 5k, well, 5 point, if we're going to be pedantic about it, 5.5k difference here. This is now where they're going to start to snowball because that bottom lane is starting to get feed in the right places. I mean, Sona got the first kill, first blood, but Vatic has picked up 2 kills since. He's going to turn that Bilge Water into the next item up after that as well. Now, Vastic is going to be jumped on by Xafron. He is 2-on-1 here, so he's forced back, but as you can see, not like you're going to see a ton of damage from Xafron. Obviously being the support, and you can see from the items, obviously going for the Emblem of Valor for a little bit more of sustaining lane. And the furry charm for the mana regen. You're not seeing anything though that's going to increase actual damage. So everybody seems to be quite content to farm up for the minute. This is the sort of the point where you can see a bit of a lull at the moment in League of Legends. Usually the 20-minute mark is where it hits, but obviously with that early pickup of the Drake, it does mean that we should see that lull now. So that lull in lull. It's a mouthful. Uncle really needs to get something done here, and he needs to get something done quickly. I mean, even if it requires leaving lane and going for a gank on mid or something, he needs to be starting to pick up some actual kills here. You can see Ghoster actually picking up blue on his own, so no need for help from Mundo. Noob, like, he's got to be careful here because that tower is going to start to take a beating real soon. He's down by 54 CS at this point. Now Xafron is going to be jumped on here. Ghoster going to fall back into Tribush. It's trapped on the way, but not going to sweat that at all. And you can see Rammus rolling in, so Yorick is going to be ganked here, but he's not going to get the kill, I don't think. You can see he just managed to pop the Mana Moon in time as well, so yeah, there's too big of a difference there on that top lane at the moment for a successful gank. I mean, if Garen was in the fight from the get-go and he managed to land a silence or something, then yeah, cool beans, maybe that would have been a success, but as it stands, it's not like Garen is a high AD champion, especially with the build that is on the plate at the moment. Mid back to a sort of stalemate where the lane is almost frozen at Center River. That suits Heimer just fine though. As you can see, Ghoster is getting the better of Heimer at this point. Those towers do make it a lot easier for Heimer to farm under his own tower though, so he's not going to be crying about the fact he's being pushed back under his own tower, but it's not exactly ideal. Meanwhile, on bottom, as we can see, that lane is heavily pushed at this point. A lot of CS being lost down there. It was relatively even for the longest time, but the lane itself has been pushed. Now, that is in favour of course, Hall of Noobs at the moment, but when you factor in the 2 kills, I mean, taking a peek at the goal between the two AD carries, you're looking at over 1,000, well, 1,300 difference there, so that is more than sizable to say the least. And as you can see, we've already got the Blade of the Ruin King in play. Attack speed, lifesteal, and damage all on the Vastix belt. Now this is interesting. Look what's developing here from mid. This doesn't bode well for Noob, like, to be honest. He's going in deep here, and he's going to spin to win, but he's not realised that Ghost is there. There's the wall of pain. He's going to come in. This is where we're going to see Noob like shut down. He is quite tanky because of the emblem, but I don't think that's going to get him out of trouble here. I think this is going to be a no. Just he managed to pop his Q just to get out. Requiem does come in though, and he does pick up the kill. So, and as you can see, it enables the kill on bottom as well. Bastic going to roll through. He's going to tower dive. Barry does get popped, but it's not going to be enough here. And that's going to be the double kill. Nicely done. He's going to lifesteal the health up that he lost to the tower as well. So, chance here that the tower could take a considerable amount of damage, if not even fall. Looks like top is going to fall as well. So, potential here for, I don't know, to go 2 towers to 0 up, as well as 9-0 on the scoreboard. Let's take a quick peek at that bottom tower. As you can see, yep, that's most definitely going to fall as well. That's an extra 300 global gold per person, just for picking up kills on the lanes. Mundo holding mid for the time being, so Blanca Haas is going to go back to his jungle here now. As Karthus does come back down to hold his lane, so Ghoster playing it exceptionally well so far, 4-0 and 5, so most definitely on for a carry here. Vastic is also 4-0 and 3 at this point. As you can see, he's that confident he's actually going to tower dive. Flashes forward with an offensive flash, does pick up the kill, nicely done. He's going to run into Daniel here. Daniel could pick up the kill, and indeed, more than likely does. Yep, there we go. So, killing spree shut down, an extra 500 gold onto Daniel, that's much needed. First kill on the board for Hom. Kill could have come about 4 minutes earlier though, to be honest, and I think Hom would have been a lot happier about that. Magical 20-minute margin has been passed, so no sign of a surrender yet. That's good to see. obviously land play, so I wouldn't expect that anyway. Here we go, Leona going to go in deep. Does manage to get the stun onto Vastic. Peacemaker over the top. Here we go, auto attack coming in from Uncle. Uncle's going to get exhausted, but Caitlyn does have that good escape mechanism. It's not going to stop Leona from being dropped by Vastic though. And Uncle's taking the long way back. He's going to be taken down as well, so it's going to be a double here for Vastic. He's going to put him 6-0 and 3 on the scoreboard, so check his actual bank balance at this point. He's already been back to buy, so he's not got a ton of cash here, but as you can see, went back and bought the Zeal for the extra attack speed, so again, Zeal has been nerfed again. I didn't even see that in the patch notes. Now down to just 18% attack speed, but you still get the crit chance from it, I suppose. Interestingly, we've yet to see any real use of vision wards, just the old sight wards. As you can see, second Drake being picked up on now as well, so global objective is going to be 4-0 in favour of I don't know. No sign of contention coming in. Mundo's just holding mid here. I mean, his smite is down, so it's not like he could have done anything anyway, but it doesn't bode well when you don't even have the timing on Drake, which they will not have now. So everybody going to go back and spend that global gold that we just picked up. This is where it is going to start to get tricky for Hon, because if I don't know, come back, you know, with that mid-game buy, and let's just have a look at the rest of the items. Yeah, as we can see, it's not like there's anything comparable out there. You're looking at the top lane, 147 plays 68 on CS. Jungle, there's a bit of a difference there as well, but that's in favour of Hon. That's because Mundo's been playing mid pretty much. We got 166 against 103 on mid, so Heimer is considerably down at this point. And the bottom lane, not as bad. The disparity isn't as huge, but you're still looking at 27 minions the difference though. So this is usually the point where the game starts to shift momentum, and we are going to start to see a bit of team fighting now. Top lane still pretty stagnant, and you can see that tower did go, but Noob is just happy to free farm here. He's Garen after all. All he has to do to get out of trouble is Q and spin to win, and he's going to get out of most ganks. Vastic, you can see the confidence that Vastic has. He's just going to stand and trade, even against barriered up Uncle here. Nice to walk into the trap now. The Jason Hole comes out, Requiem over the top of all this though, and that is going to mean that Xafron is surely going to fall here. Yep, Vastic getting godlike status. That's now going to mean that Vastic is 7-0 and 4 on his AD carry of Vayne. Ghost's going to be stunned, but plenty of time to get out of there. And you can see Daniel does show up, the exhaust does hit though, so Ghost is going to manage to get out of that gank. It's kind of been indicative of what we've seen so far. Attempted gank after attempted gank from Rammus that really hasn't paid dividends at all. So, wards being placed, traps being cleared. And this is interesting. Here we go, so Garen making a bit of a move here. Seems a little bit uncommitted to it though, as you can see. He's not really going back to bottom here. Looks like he might show up mid. You have a 3-man push onto mid now. This is going to put a lot of damage onto the tower. Blanca going to fall back now. He just might take a little bit of damage from the tower, but nothing that's going to change the course of this push really. Cheeky little cleaver to get him out of there. Crystal to show up in lane, so definitely into the team fighting stage now. And you would have to say the way the items are playing out at this point, I don't know, have a huge advantage now. Wall of Pain going down. Daniel probably going to get taken down here. Tanky as Rammus is, the item disparity is way too high. Ghost just might pick up that kill. We are going to see the double kill coming from Ghost. Nicely done. Lana showing up, but not able to really do anything here. As you can see, Noob going to be forced back on Garen as well. Vastic going to pick up the kill onto Leona. Double kill for Vastic. Nicely done. That's going to mean this mid tower is going to fall. Noob trying to force beyond way, but it's going to be the kill from Yorick as well. So it's the team ace. All 5 members now down. Potential for maybe even 2 towers out of this. And I don't know, pretty much have this game in the bag for my money. 24 minutes and 38 seconds on the clock. 19 plays 12 on kills. 37.8 plays 24.8. So over a, well, you're looking at a 13k difference on gold there. That's only going to get better as, well, only going to get better from the perspective that I don't know, of course, as they push the advantage here. So everybody going to go back, buy up, come back to lanes even stronger now. And short of a miracle here for Hon, I don't know how they're really going to change the tide of this game because they haven't picked really one good engagement so far. And it's not like they have a great amount of initiation because Rammus isn't particularly tanky at this point. You can see he's got the Aegis of the Legion, and he does have the Spirit of the Ancient Golem, but when you compare that to, he's going to be tankiest here. It's going to be, yeah, there you go, Yorick on a Warmogs already, so 25-minute Warmogs with a Mana Moon in there, as well as Ninja Tabby, and he's actually picked up a Cloth Armor as well. He's going to be excessively tanky at this point. Let's just take a look at his stats. He has 109 armor and 55 magic resist, so he's going to be exceptionally hard to deal with. And it's not like Rammus can actually disrupt a line here, because the second that he jumps forward, he's taking so much just split damage from AP and AD that he's not able to really tank and actually get his taunts in. So from this point forward, I think Uncle and company, they have to play super passive and just hope to get a Baron steal, or maybe go for the old split push on bottom lane and try and get Caitlyn farmed up. You can see just from the damage that Peacemaker did, you normally expect a lot more damage out of a Peacemaker like that, especially onto a mid-mage. So, as you can see, everybody's starting to position for the next Drake. It's not up for a while yet. I think it's about a minute until the next Drake does come up, but nobody wants to really give up position here. Black House being pinged to fall back. Actually, I think he's being pinged to go help with the blue, so he's going to go over and help Ghoster. As you can see from Ghoster's build, though, it's not like Ghoster particularly needs help at this point. Hextech Revolver in play with the Rod of Ages and a Rabadon's Death Cap. Couple that with the Sorcerer's Shoes for the extra magic pen. And there's not many people in this game right now who can stand up to Ghoster from either team, so 7-1 and 9 at this point. Obviously the 9 assists coming from the global presence. Sylvana going to be jumped on, goes through the wall of pain here, does manage to just about escape. Turns around to team fight again, that was a big mistake. Blank House is going to get the slow with the cleaver, here comes the, yep, Requiem's going to come in, and that is going to be one kill. Potential for two here. Garen did manage to get the kill eventually, so this is the third kill on the board for Hon now. I do hear calls of Baron from the team, so we are going to see a potential, maybe a Baron fake here. Looks like no, we're going to go Drake instead, so Drake does get started off. Fantastic Ambioma. I'm going to be perfectly capable of taking this. Rammus isn't showing any signs that he's going to commit to going in for a gank steal, so it's going to be the third Baron now. And, sorry, third Drake, I should say, for, I don't know. That means they're looking at almost an extra 600 gold that Hall of Noobs just haven't had a sniff of so far. Oh, Daniel quite content just to stay in jungle here. You can see the actual disparity on CS at this point. It's getting wider with every passing minute. 179 plays 100 from the top lane. Looking at mid, 211 plays 121, so that's almost double the farm. And then 192 plays 157 on the 2 AD carries. So, I don't know, leading the CS score, leading just straight up kills, and also leading global objectives. And they've got 4 towers on the board. They've had 3 Drakes in the control, so that explains the disparity on cash that we're seeing, which is over, look at nearly a 15k difference now. See CS still being missed here, which at this level of play I wouldn't expect to see, to be honest, especially at this point in the game as well. I mean, we're 29 minutes in. You should be last hitting a little bit better than that, Uncle, to be honest. So an Oracle's now on Karthus. I think at this point it's going to be a case of sweeping for non-existent wards, because as we can see, it's not like there's really any placed here from Hon. It might be a waste. That Elixir might be a bit of a waste here on Ghoster. Then again, 217 CS with 8 kills. It's not like he's hurting for money at this point. So they're setting up for Baron, but they haven't really committed to it as of yet. Here we go, a lot of positioning going around. It does seem like Hon have actually cottoned onto this, because you can see they're starting to actually reposition, but not particularly any chance of actually getting in there. So Vastic and company, they're going to wait here for the gank, but nothing has happened as of yet. And I've just realised I'm actually casting with a delay here, so yeah. Now here we go, big Baron fight coming in. Beyond is going to take down Sylvana. We're going to see Dano, he's got very deep there, double kill for Yorick. Xafron to find. And that's going to be the kill from Vastic onto Xafron. So it leaves Noob left alive here. And as you can see, he's way out of the fight at this point. That means Baron is going to go over to, I don't know. Not an uncontested Baron, but if you look at the health, it almost seems like it was, to be honest. That just reflects the difference in CS that we see at the moment. So Baron is going to be picked up here. See, they're going to go back, buy up, and then push the lane after this. Noob the only man standing here, so he's not going to go exploring anytime soon. The rest of his team has spawned in, so he's now back at full strength. But the difference in just builds is astronomical at this point. Insurmountable, one might even say. Mid going to be pushed, and this could very well be the final nail in the coffin, to be honest. The Baron is, well, as you can see, going to make the difference. Sylvana going to be taken down by Vastic. That's going to leave Noob just to try and retreat here. Daniel caught off in jungle. He's going to be cut off here. Let's have a look. Vastic going to roll forward. Does manage to force him away, but Vastic doesn't want to really get caught in a fight with a tank here. So he's going to just go and take this inhibitor tower. Forward over the top. Daniel, you can see how just not tanky he is at this point. The fact that they're so confident they can focus the tank first means that the game is pretty much in the bag now at this point. The inhibitor is going to fall just a good measure. And here we go, here's the engagement now, so that's going to be the 10th kill there for Ghoster. Mike's running forward as well, just putting down, you can see how tanky he is as well. He's got that Sunfire cape on him, he's not scared of anything at this point. First Nexus tower is going to fall, second one soon to follow as well. Vastic is going to stand there. He's, like I say, he's not scared of anybody at this point. He's 12-0 and 12, and there goes the Nexus. So 29 plays free, 32 minutes and 45 seconds required to get the job done. And that was a fairly one-sided game, folks, to be quite honest. The guys from I Don't Know just came out all cylinders firing. Didn't really look back from the point of picking up first blood. They had control of 3 Drakes. I mean, if you take a look at the actual scoreboard, that reflects the story better than I ever possibly could. The fact that Vastic finished on 12-0 and 12, he was just an absolute powerhouse on Vayne. So if I was to play against I Don't Know, first ban would be against Vastic. It would be a targeted Vayne ban. And then I would probably go for Ghoster's Karthus, because Ghoster finished 11-1 and 14. So obviously the builder from Ghoster, if that would have had something like a Magi's in there, that could have been terrifying, to be honest, with 14 assists and 11 kills. As it happens, it was a good build. You had Will of the Ancients and all that kind of good stuff in there. So without further ado anyway, that's the first of the evening's games closed up. We are going to have a second game coming up, which is going to be, let me just have a look at my notes real quick. I know it's going to be M Faculty, I just can't remember who they play against. So it's going to be M Faculty against Team Artex. Anyway, we're going to throw it back, and when we come back, it will be that game. So don't go anywhere, keep it locked. I'm going to pass it over now, and we're going to close this one out.